Today we rank every Metallica album from worst to best. Starting with number 12, Saint Anger. This album had some great riffs, however unfortunately, that is kind of hard to pay attention to when the quality is so mid. Overall, I don't hate this album as much as everyone else does, but nonetheless I understand the hate. Number 11, S&M. No Leaf Clover and Ecstasy of Gold are incredible. And the main thing that brings this album down, however, is that it's a live album, so it mainly just includes a bunch of low quality versions of songs from other albums, but nonetheless it's still a solid album. Number 10, Hardwired. This is a great album. Shout out to Month and the Flame and Spin Out the Bone. But Lord of Mercy, they need to turn down the drums on some of these songs because it is quite literally all I can hear. Number 9, 72 Seasons. This album proves that Metallica is still able to make great music. Shout out to Lux Eterna and You Must Burn. I generally don't have any complaints about this album. It honestly feels to me like Hardwired, but they fix their mistakes. I don't know if that's just me, but that's how that's just how it feels, in my opinion. Number 8, Death Magnetic. Cyanide in the Day That Never Comes. Now that's how you do it right there. This really did seem to be Metallica's comeback album after the impact of Saint Anger, so we love it for that. And the riffs and stuff on this album are very cool. Number 7, Load. Love the vibes of this album. Attila Sleeps and King Nothing are great songs, and in my opinion, the drums really did sound the best in this album. Might be a controversial opinion, but it is what it is. I also like how experimental they were with this album as well, really branching out to new areas of metal. And you could even say that they really branched out of metal and maybe even try to dig into some country. Number 6, Reload. Many say that the Load and the Reload album should have been one, but in my opinion, Load and Reload being two albums is part of what makes them stand out. Great songs of this album are The Unforgiven 2 and of course Fuel. This album overall has the best music videos I have ever seen from Metallica. Of course this doesn't exactly affect the ranking, but it's definitely a key feature and something I felt like I should point out. Number 5, Kill 'Em All. This is Metallica's first album and I gotta say, what a great way to kick things off. Shout out to Whiplash and No Remorse. The tone of these guitars may have been low quality, but unlike Saint Anger, that's what makes the album so great. It generally sounds, I guess you could say raw, if that's even how you describe it. Very good stuff. Number 4, The Black Album. This is Metallica's best-selling album, and the best-selling metal album in history. This album may divide the Metallica community, but in my eyes, I feel as though this album is a masterpiece, and I believe so does the majority of the Metallica community. Shout out to Up Wolf and Man and one of my favorite songs ever, Wherever I May Roam. Number 3, Ride the Lightning. These next 3 albums have no flaws whatsoever. Maybe one day the band will realize that Escape is just as amazing as the rest of the album, but I don't think they're just randomly going to change their minds after 40 something years. From the Bell Tolls and the title track Ride the Lightning are incredible tracks and they truly never get old. Number 2, Master of Puppets. According to the band, this is their best album, and I'd be lying if I said that I don't jam to each and every one of these songs. Leper Messiah, and of course once again the title track Master of Puppets are Flark and epic, and so is Disposable Heroes. I love all of it. Of course, this was unfortunately the last album Cliff Burton played in before passing. The album certainly wouldn't have been the same without Cliff, so thank goodness he at least gave us one more album to remember him by. But of course the number 1 spot has to go to Injustice for All. It's clear that the band put all their heart and soul into this album, and although it sucks that the bass was turned down on this album, I generally do feel like it doesn't affect how great the album is, and it really gives it its unique tone. Of course that's just my opinion. Harvester of Sorrow and One are incredible songs, and this is a 13 out of 10 album. And well, I suppose that's a wrap. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like and maybe even subscribe, as it does help me out a lot. And anyways guys, it's outro time.